Ziniko Mhlaba in the Joburg CBD for you this afternoon. Ziniko, good afternoon to you. What were the main points of what Premier Panyaza Lesufi had to say on behalf of the province today?
Well, Stephen, the Premier, together with some government officials, were giving us an update from what they found since the morning. Remember, the first, there was the latest briefing they gave us was at about 8 a.m. this morning, and of course, very late in the afternoon, at about 2:30, the Premier came back, obviously, and of course, they gave us the latest information alluding to the issues you just touched on as you were building up to this particular crossing. Well, Stephen, the issue now that is becoming very interesting is that the City of Johannesburg Mayor, together with his MMCs, have told us not so long ago that there will be a detailed briefing of experts from the City of Johannesburg who will be able to give us a sense of what exactly they found. They're saying that they believe that they need to give space to those experts so that they can explain to us what they've gathered on the ground. They are saying that they believe that now political heads need to take a step back so that they're able then to allow citizens to hear for themselves what they were briefed on by those experts. So I've got with me here MMC, who's responsible for infrastructure, environmental issues here in the City of Johannesburg. Maybe giving us more insights about the importance of that briefing and how it's different to the briefings we've been getting since late last night. MMC, very, very important and very long day for you as executives of the City of Johannesburg. Talk to us about the need to then give space to the experts and what informed that decision.
No, thank you very much. All we can say currently is that the province must not come and parachute themselves into the city of Johannesburg and actually talk things that they don't understand. You know what actually happened now, right, currently, is that I think it was uncalled for. I think it's the Premier is actually messing up in terms of the IGR, that's the intergovernmental, the relations themselves. Because we had an indication, we told him that we are going to go into a technical meeting where we're going to be talking to the technical experts, individuals who actually have done the analysis currently to say what is happening. You remember even the citizens, they were asking in terms of, will this happen again? So we had to go into closed doors, listen to experts in terms of what may actually happen, what of course this expert that is actually happening. Instead of the Premier to come and come into the briefing of the city, decides himself with his people to go and have a press conference, actually again not giving in terms of what is happening. Because we have a proper report in terms of what is happening and how people are going to be moved and the logistics and the update from our ground. Yes.
Let me come in, Mr. Mkina. From what you just said right now, there seems to be disconnect in terms of government coordination process in terms of this. Is that true? And how did you get there?
No, it is. We must speak truth into power. We must not fake things and act as if we are one. We are not one. The province is actually playing politics here. It started at the hospital when the mayor and ourselves, because remember, we have got a component of EMS where also you've got the emergency services. We have to go and check in terms of what is happening, with people who have actually been injured. Now, instead of communicating to the mayor and ourselves, they actually went themselves into everything. And when we asked, where are the other patients? They started to give us the information. But it's okay. We said to them, it's fine. Let us not play politics on this issue because it's the people's lives. And then on this one, we told them that we are going to go into a technical meeting where we're going to listen now to people to what happened and the gas. And what they decided to do is to come have a press conference giving the people of Johannesburg a half-baked issue. So we are not aligned. And the Premier and also the police in terms of understanding what is happening and the update they have actually got, because I've got a report in terms of the JMPD, what the JMPD have been doing on the ground physical. We've got the reports from the EMS in terms of what is the state of the gas right now, when are they going to be entering in, what are the toxic levels, and is it methane or is it any other gas? We've got those reports. That's why the technical meeting is going to be very important today. We've got those reports, but province, they always come and parachute themselves, not asking the
all right,
local.
all right, Mr. Mpina. So the issue now of the reports that you're talking about, yes. I also want to get a sense of, are you having two different sets of experts, the ones that are working with the province and the ones that you say are working with the city of Johannesburg, or with that sphere at least? But also, from what you heard, because I spoke to the Ministry for Transport of Camera, he was saying that what they had might be different to what has been communicated. Is that also the sentiment that you share?
We don't know what Panyaza and the crew, they've, you know, what they said, because we've got the team of experts of which we've put in place. The structural engineers, we've got the geotechnical guys working with the EMS and all of that. So we are going to tell you exactly scientifically what has happened from our expert. In terms of what they are doing, as far as I'm concerned, because remember, we are coordinated by the city manager. The city manager has got all those reports.
Okay, so what I'm asking, Mr. Mpina, even at the level of experts, are we dealing with different sets of experts?
What I know right now, we've got the experts that actually have been put on board by the CM, because remember the CM, in terms of the disaster, what is happening right now, he's the custodian. And what happens in terms of the law is that he must manage the intergovernmental. There must be that kind of a link. And also the province needs to be briefed by the city manager, and also we must be briefed by the city manager. But instead of the premier waiting for the city manager, because he was busy with the technical expert, he even told him, wait, premier, there's a communication from everyone, even from his office, that we are going to have a press briefing at 3:30. So he was going to be briefed. When the city manager was done, he was supposed now to come to us as the politicians and brief now concretely how many people are going to be moved in that area. Is the place safe now? Are the levels of gas? We've got all of that. We've got all of that in terms of the experts. And then also, what might be the cause of the blast? And also, this expert they're talking about in terms of the simulations, and some stuff that says that this phenomenon is not common. It's not actually something very new. It's common, and they decided to go to areas where this thing is actually happening.
So Mr. Mpina, as the Premier was concluding, actually when the Premier's briefing was taking place, there was word that the Mayor is coming through to join the Premier, but that ended up not happening. Can it be linked to what you just explained now, that the Mayor might have refused to sit alongside the Premier to share the information that they have? What do you understand of that?
You can't have a situation where you come into my house and the people are not there and you come, you do everything. The Premier should have actually called the Mayor. What is happening, Mayor? Because before we come to press briefings, we always get a brief first from the experts. And you get a report from JMPD, which is working the ground, not the police. Even the police are not there. So the police are not there. It's the JMPD which is doing the work, and the EMS that is doing the work. We do a briefing first, and then from there we get reports from the housing, what is happening, and then after that we all come out as a team to be addressed. So the Premier just did his own things and then came in there like that, yes. And then you've got also, you see this thing, it's not happening with the Premier alone, especially even when we're doing operations, the operation Shoshayela, the one that they had. Yeah. They always like to parachute themselves and go into areas in our space. And if they could have come to us first and then understand what is happening in the city. So it's a phenomenon that is actually happening. But in our department, we are able to deal with it in a more decisive manner. We don't allow that space to happen. Yeah.
Sure. Very serious sentiments shared by MMC of Environmental Affairs here and Infrastructure, but public safety infrastructure matters here in the city of Johannesburg. Basically saying that, making it clear that there seems to be a disconnect between the government spheres, the province and the city of Johannesburg, making serious allegations that the Premier and his team are actually not working in alignment with the city of Johannesburg. We will further probe that and see how far it goes, but also looking forward to that 8 o'clock briefing, which Mr. Mtina said will be conducted and presided over by the team of experts. So that's the situation, Stephen, so far.
Ziniko Mhlaba, thank you very much indeed. Important developments there happening live on your screen as a result of that explosion.